You that don't know, I like governmental crap. I like stuff like juicy forensic files, CSI, NCIS, Law and Order type stuff. Thank you for coming to my channel and watching this video. This video is important about all the videos being because we're going to be talking about the voting that we have going on in the world today. If you have not already, go ahead and vote. Your vote does count. Don't say it don't count. It counts because you'll be the first person around now complaining about a shoulda, coulda, woulda when all you coulda, woulda, shoulda did is voted. Member of the House of Representatives, you have to be at least the age of 25 years old. You have to have been in the United States for at least 7 years, and you have to have been a resident of the state that you're trying to represent. To be a part of the Senate, you have to be at least the age of 30 years old. You have to have been in the U.S. for at least 9 years. You have to be a resident of the state that you're trying to represent. So, if you feel like your vote doesn't count, or if you feel like you just don't like the person, or you're just not gonna vote because you don't like anybody been in doggone office and really they don't want to make doggone laws, how about you go? Everybody is so big on voting for the president or whatever. Look, that's all good and dandy or whatever to do. Y'all don't fuck up with the presidency. It is what it is. But baby, y'all need to vote for these midterm elections because this time you are voting for senators. Senators ought to be voted for every 6 years, and then within the 2 years mark, they go up for re-election. 1/3 of it re-election, not the whole doggone thing. I'm about to go in details for y'all. You have your three branches of the government. That is the legislative, executive, and your judicial branches. Each one of them have their own thing they got going on. It's called checks and balances. Want to make sure that you're not using your power to overpower the other person. Now, the legislative branch is those that make the laws. The executive branch are those that enforce the laws, and you got your judicial branch that interprets the laws. They all check on each other. Legislative branch is split into two chambers. You know what I'm saying? Two chambers. They have the House of Representatives and they have the Senators. The Senators is the upper chamber of the legislative branch, and you have the House of Representatives, which is the lower chamber. And the Senators, you only have 100 senators. There are two senators per state. It's 50 states. Yeah, 100 senators. Then you got the House of Representatives that have a total of 435 representatives for that part. And that is they are being elected based off the population of your state. Your senators are being elected based on the people. The people are who elect senators. Back then, only the people of that branch elected who they want their body elected. Representatives has the power to initiate bills for taxes being collected or any revenue. Pay attention money wise. They have the power to impeach any governmental officials, such as the president. They also have the power to make a decision on who the president will be if there's going to be a tie with the electoral college votes. There's, although maybe similar to the House of Representatives, they are somewhat different in a way. The senators, they're listening to the people of what they're wanting, and they are trying to come up with a law that can benefit everybody or whatever. They are also those that can either approve or deny a presidential nomination. Like you don't cut it. You got too much going on. You got felonies first of all. You got a guy thinking on background going on. We just not doing that. They can say no. Then they can. They are also the ones that if the government official is being impeached, they are a part of the court of the trial of the impeachment. This is the midterms. That means the president's coming up on his 4-year mark. So every 2 years, which is why they call it the midterm election, this is what's going on. And you are picking those people that are going to either listen to you because the senators are your voice within. The senators are who's going to make those laws. We, as citizens, like to separate ourselves from that world. We think of that world as a different whole world. We're not thinking of it as this is our life that we're talking about, first of all. These are your children that are going to have to live by this. And so they are being elected every 6 years, every 4 years, every 2 years time has gone by before you can actually make your point or voice your opinion again for the next 2, 4, and 6 years. So yeah, no, not doing it. The time is now. We watch these shows all day and we think of it as that couldn't be me. Like in high school, I couldn't think that I could be the doggone president. Really, I didn't even think. I just felt like that wasn't my job. That wasn't something I wanted to do. But as you get older, you realize, dang, it's really that close that I could be a president or I could be a congresswoman or whatever. Like it's there. It's not. It's a thin line between the have and the have-nots. But you can always get to where you need to be. Who the hell said that you just because you was born into a family of governmental officials that you would stay the government official? You know, we think that because we wasn't born that well, because we was raised, the poorer people was raised on survival. And so a lot of things we do based off survival. And we feel like the governmental stuff costs a lot of money. It requires money, which it does. And so we never think that we can get to that stage. Before in my previous video that I would post up at top about the poor mentality that us as middle class, lower class people have. And this is the time where you step outside the box and get uncomfortable. This is the time where it actually matters. They hide everything that they don't want you to know in the books because they know you're not going to read the books. Baby, they know you're not going to read the books. Me, I read the books. I need to know what's going on. I need to know what you got going on because if somebody come with this doggone missile and drop a missile on us, I want to know which one of y'all started it if I just happen to live